Hi guys, and welcome to CodeBeauty YouTube channel. In this video, I will teach you about generics and generic methods in programming. This is very important concept. It is used very often, and it also exists in most programming languages. So in this video, you are going to learn what are generics, what kinds of problems we can solve with generic methods, and how to do that. We will start with a simple example, and then I'm going to introduce a problem so that I can teach you how to solve that problem with the help of generics. Here on my YouTube channel, I teach you different programming concepts in these short videos, but if you really want to master practical programming so that you can get a job, work from home, and earn a high salary, I can also help you to achieve that goal. I have combined over 12 years of both my academic experience and also work on many different projects, and I have created CodeBeauty Academy, which is a learning platform. It is designed to teach you career-ready skills through a practical program that you can complete in just a few months. It has over 200 video lessons covering everything that you need to know in order to get a job. You will work on real projects with other developers, and step by step, I will take you from beginner to expert. Many students who joined the Academy in the past few months already found their first job even before completing the entire program. So you have absolute guarantee about the quality of this program, and you can try it out risk-free. If you're not 100% satisfied for any reason, you will receive a full refund. So if you also want to join us, I will leave a link in the description, and I will also include a special discount code for my viewers that you can use in order to save some money. So with that being said, let's continue with the topic of this video, and let's see what are generics. So let's start with a simple example. Let's say that I want to create an array of integers. So I will say int array, and I will call it numbers array, like this. And let's give it 5 elements initially. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like this. So now, if I wanted to print the elements of this array, what I would need to do is I would need to iterate through the array and print each individual element. Now, let's create a method where we are going to do that. So I will create it here inside my program class. It is going to be of return type void, and I will call it print array, like this. Okay, and this method is going to receive one parameter. It is going to be of type int array, and I will call it numbers array, like this. So into this method, I will pass my numbers array, and here I will iterate through the array with for each loop. So I will say for each number, which is of type integer in my array, what I want to do is I simply want to say console.writeLine, and I want to print that number. So now I can simply invoke this method, and it is going to print the numbers array that I pass as a parameter, like this. But here we have a small syntactic error. You can see this red squiggly, and the reason for this error is because our main function is static. So I also need to make this function static as well. So static void print array, and then the error is going to disappear. Now, this has nothing to do with generics. It has to do with this static keyword. So if you're not familiar with what static keyword is and how to use it, I have a separate video that I will link here, and I will also put it in the description, and you can watch it after this video. So now that we have our array and we have also invoked this method, if I start the program, as you can see, it is going to print all of the numbers from our array. Okay, so this is great. Everything works so far. Now let's add another example. I'm going to stop the application, and what I want to do is I want to create another array, but this time I will create an array of strings. So let's say here, string array, and I will call it words array, like this. And inside here, I will add a couple of strings. So let's say code, and then another string is going to be beauty, And then let's add a third string. So I will say academy, like this. Okay, so we have array of strings. It is called words array. And inside it, I have added 3 strings, CodeBeauty Academy. Now, the question is, how can I also print this array? We already have this method called printArray, but this method works with arrays of integers, which means if I try to invoke this method and I pass it this array of strings, it should not work. And as you can see, we get this red squiggly, which says that, hey, I cannot convert string array into integer array, which means, again, this way it is not going to work. So what we need to do is we need to copy this method and then paste it. And now we can adjust this method in order to work with strings. So here I will say that the parameter is going to be of type string array. And let's also change the name of this parameter. So I will call it words array, like this. And here, when I'm iterating through the array, I will iterate through the array of words. And each element of that array is going to be of type string. And I will also call each element word, like this. And what I want to do is I simply want to write each word into the console. So now we have 2 methods for printing arrays. The first one is used to print arrays of integers, and the second one is used to print arrays of strings. And even though they have the same name, our compiler will not be confused because they receive different parameters. So when we invoke print array here and we pass array of integers, the first one is going to be invoked. And then when we invoke print array here, but we pass this array of strings, then the second method is going to be invoked and everything should work. So if I start the program, as you can see, here we get our numbers array, and then here we get our array of strings. So this code works, and majority of beginners would think that the code is good, but an experienced software developer would tell you that this code is actually trash. Why? Well, because we have created unnecessary redundancy in our code. So we have basically duplicated this method completely unnecessarily, because if you take a look at these 2 methods, they basically do the same thing, but just with different data types. So this method here iterates through an array and prints each element, and it works with integers. And then this method here as well iterates through an array and prints each element, but this method works with strings. So following this logic, tomorrow, if we wanted to print an array of decimal numbers, we would create a third method. And then if we wanted to print an array of Boolean values, we would create fourth method, and so on. And that is unnecessarily redundant because if you take a look at all of those methods, you will notice that they do basically the same thing, but just with different data types. And that is exactly when we can use generic methods. So what we can do is we can create just one method, and that method should be able to work with different data types. So let's see how we can do that. Let's see how we can create a generic method. I am going to do it here. Let's say static void, and I will use the same name, so print array. Now, this first method that we have created, it receives an array of integers, so it prints integers. The second method receives an array of strings, so it prints strings. But what I want to do with this method is I want to use it with all data types. So instead of hard coding a specific data type here, I will use a generic data type. And that generic data type is usually called T, like this. So this method is going to receive an array of T, and I will call that array simply array, like this. So what this means is that our method is going to receive an array of any data type. So this here can be an array of strings, an array of integers, an array of decimal numbers, and so on. And the job of this method will be to iterate through all of the elements, through all of the items of this array, and to print each element. So for that, we will use for each loop like we usually do, but I will have to change a few things. So firstly, I am not iterating through words array, I am iterating through this array. And then elements of this array, we don't know if they are going to be words or numbers or something else. So instead of calling it word, I will simply call it item. And this part here, since our array is not of type string, but it is of type T, each item of the array will also have this T type, like this. And then here we simply say print that item. So this here is generic function, and if you take a look at this function and compare it to these two functions, you will notice that they look very similar. The only difference is that here we are not hard coding any specific data type. And instead of integer, string, decimal, and other concrete data types, we use this T to indicate that the method should be able to work with any data type. And there's just one small thing that is missing in order to make all of this work, and that is to say to this method explicitly that it is generic and that it is working with this type T. So here, after the name of the method, you will add these angled brackets, and inside it, you will write T once more, like this. So now this means that we have a generic method called print array. How do we know that it is generic? Well, because it has this generic data type called T, and the method is going to receive an array of any data type, so of this type T, and the job of this method will be to iterate through all of the items of the array and to print each item. So now I can comment out or delete all of these individual methods because now we can use this method in order to print any type of array. And as you can see, we don't have any errors here, even though I have commented these two methods, because now here we will use our generic method, as I said, to print any type of array. So if I start the application, as you can see, here is our array of numbers, and then here is our array of strings. And if I create another type of array, let's say, for example, double array, this is array of decimal numbers, let's call it decimal numbers array, and I will initialize the array. So let's say 1.2 and then 34.7, and let's add another one, let's say 9.55. Okay, so these are going to be the elements of the array. And now what I can do is I can simply print this array with the help of my generic method, like this. And if I start the program, as you can see, here is our decimal numbers array printed as well. So once more, the benefit of generic methods is that you can have just one method, but that method can work with different data types. So because of that, you don't have to write duplicate code unnecessarily. And that follows one very important principle in programming, which is called dry principle. So dry means don't repeat yourself. Now, there is one common question that many beginners ask, and that is related to the name of this generic data type. So many beginners want to know if they can use a different name for this generic data type. And the answer is yes, you can give it a different name. So how would you call it? Let's say, for example, Bob. Let's call it Bob. So you would have to use Bob here, and then Bob here, and also Bob here, like this. And everything is going to work the same. So if I start my application again, As you can see, everything still works. But now I have a question for you. Why would you want to call your generic data type Bob or John or any other name that is very confusing? And some might say, Saldina, I will not call it Bob. I will call it, for example, my type, like this. So you can also do this, but just remember that it is important to use this same name on all of the places like this, and your code is going to work. So yes, you can use a different name for your generic data type, but eventually you will become lazy like the rest of us developers, and you will simply come to the conclusion that it is the best to call it just T. So T here, and then also T here. And this is the most common and the best practice that I have seen in my entire career. And all of the developers that I know call their generic data types T. And then if you have more than one generic data type, then it is T1, T2, T3, and so on. So I hope that this video helped you to understand what are generic methods and how to use them. As I said, this is a very important concept that exists in many programming languages, so it is very important to understand it. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. And then if you enjoy programming and you want to learn how to build cool applications and get a job as a software developer, please watch the next segment of this video that I have created in order to give you more information about CodeBeauty Academy, which is a learning platform that I have built. And there you can get my mentorship and my help in order to achieve your goals and become an expert in programming. Hey there! If your goal is to learn programming and start a successful career, build interesting and useful applications, and if you enjoy learning from my YouTube videos, then you should definitely enroll in my practical programming course. I will take you from beginner to expert in just a few months, and I will give you all of the support and help that you need to achieve your goals. In the course, you will work on realistic projects, you will get access to a large community of successful developers, and everything that you need to learn will be on one place. You just need to follow the plan that I have created for you. And those of you who finish the course successfully will get a special certificate that is going to open a lot of job opportunities for you. In the description, you can find a coupon code to save some money. And if you're not sure if this course is for you or not, we have 7-day money-back guarantee, which means that if you don't like it for any reason, you will get all of your money back. No questions asked. So now, instead of coming up with excuses, use this opportunity to finally learn programming and transform your life, because you really have nothing to lose and a lot to gain.